you should also be a good listener. So when I first started on the campaign trail with all those facts and policies, et cetera, it was pretty flat and dry. What actually made me into a better communicator was when I started actually listening to the stories of the people I was meeting. And by knowing their lives, what they had gone through, losing a job, not having health care, their aspirations for their kids, the challenges that they had gone through as you know, a minority group, or you know, the things they'd overcome, their fears, their hopes, weaving that into a broader story about how we could work together and live together. That's what ended up working for me. And so when we, at our foundation, when we bring in young people who are already incredibly accomplished, and when I say young, they're older than a lot of you. I mean, these are doctors who've set up women's clinics in sub-Saharan Africa, or folks who are battling the opioid crisis in Appalachia, or people who are working on climate policy and at the highest levels. A lot of what we do initially is just get them to practice listening, because the other thing that happens is when you listen, you'll and you get a sense of other people's priorities, lives, values. Then you have the capacity to also reach people who do not agree with you on everything, who don't think exactly like you, or have the exact same priorities or perspectives as you do. And that means that you can reach a broader audience. So
has there been an idea that was important to you, even as a great communicator, that you have not been able to communicate as effectively as you wanted to, either as president or after?
All the time. First of all, I constantly lose arguments to my wife, my daughters. They mock me and ridicule me at the dinner table. And so, yes. As president, look, there are things that I cared deeply about, but couldn't move, at least Congress, and apparently couldn't move the country forward. We had a photo line backstage, and a woman mentioned that she had been in Sandy Hook, Newtown, right after I had been elected to my second term. The fact that we live in a country in which routinely children are killed, are shot, that doesn't make sense to me. Hunting, I understand hunting. I understand shooting for sport, or I understand wanting to have a firearm for protection potentially at home. I don't really understand what it is that we're doing in allowing, semi-automatic weapons in people's hands. But I couldn't. I could not persuade enough of the country, and certainly enough of Congress, to prioritize that. But that doesn't mean you stop trying. You stay at it, and there have been a lot of injustices and bad ideas in the world that lasted a pretty long time, and then eventually you get a breakthrough. And then sometimes after the breakthrough, folks decide they want to go back to bad ideas, and then you got to go back at it. Yeah. So.
All right. Maybe you've opened the door for some tougher stuff here. So it appears that many people in this country have lost not only trust in government, but maybe even more importantly, the relevance of democratic norms that undergird our government. Why has